What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Second Street. I hope you're all having a very good morning this morning. And man, I know I'm having a good morning. Just got done watching WandaVision, and no, I swear, I did not watch it, 3, 4 times. Okay, I'm kidding. I didn't watch it that many times. Or did I? But today we're going to have a spoiler discussion about WandaVision. Should have a guest joining us, my good man, friend of the channel here, Chillmonger, should be joining us here in a little while. And if not, it's okay. I mean, just kind of got off a little bit later here than I thought. Kind of busy getting the kids ready for school and everything. And, the kids were watching the show leading up to their school starting. So they woke up, had breakfast, and enjoyed the show as well. Maybe one of these days I'll wake them up at, like 4:30 in the morning so they can watch it with me then, right? And then, should I? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for being here today. Let me see who all we got here in the live chat. We got Jonathan Velasquez says, good morning. Says, hope you enjoyed the episode. Stopping by to say hi, then going to bury my head till I can watch the episode. I totally understand. Stephen J, thank you so much for being here. Says, insane. Absolutely, man. This episode, it was kind of everything I was expecting out of this episode, and I really did like it. Certified Gumbo, thank you so much for being here, guys. Go check out Certified Gumbo's channel. Very good stuff. Coop in the house, man. Good stuff. Yeah, go check. They do a lot of discussions about Star Wars over there as well, but they've been, they touch on a lot of things over there. You should definitely go check them out. Some great people over there. Yeah, like Coop and Imani, they crack me up. The other two guys, man, I can't remember their names, but I was on watching the stream the other day when they were on there. Yeah, good stuff. Great people out there. ReeferMan Reviews, my man. What is up? How are you doing? Why does it seem like it's been so long since I've seen you, Reefer? Maybe a little too much Reefer. I don't know. How are you doing, my man? Everyday Geeks. How are you doing? I hope all is going well. Justin Simone says, yeah, right? Hey, Justin, you're showing your age there, son. You're showing your age there. That's a long time ago. It's a long time ago, isn't it? Oh man, that's good. Let me see. I feel like I'm not centered good enough there. There we go. Is that a little bit better? That's a little bit better. That looks a little bit better. The show's going to get crazier and crazier. Did you see the promo they dropped for episode 5? Yeah, absolutely. I did check that out, and that's kind of one of the first things I wanted to talk about before we even get into the discussion of the episode. Was exactly that. Is exactly that. Is that trailer, that promo, like, because I was getting ready to go out to the garage, get my workout in, and as soon as I was messaging Chillmonger, I was like, hey, I'll be ready at this time. I seen that promo drop, and I was watching it, and I'm like, I was like, here we go. Right? So I sat there and I watched it. I'm like, ooh, man. And let me know if you've watched the episode, what you thought about it down in the comments below. If you haven't watched the episode, honestly, I'm not sure what you're doing here, because we're going to get into it. But that trailer that dropped, I want to ask you guys, if you guys watched the promo trailer that just dropped this morning for WandaVision episode 5, there is a Quasar Easter egg in there. There's a Quasar. I'm not sure if you guys seen it, but yeah, nice little Quasar Easter egg. Yeah. Very, very, very interesting. Very interesting, kind of the things that were going on in that trailer. But anyway, let's get here into the live chat. See who else we got here. We got Tyler Cordalis joining. Thank you so much for being here. He says, I don't know, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. No problem, Coop. No problem. Stephen J says that opening scene. Yeah. Absolutely. Will Morgan. Guys, you guys need to go check out Meta Egg, right? You guys need to go check out Meta Egg because my man Will Morgan yesterday he did a live stream and he went. Did you guys see the Joss Whedon meme? I think Den of Nerds put it on their Twitter even. The Joss Whedon meme with where he's sitting there like J. Jonah Jameson saying he wants more like Ultron penises. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious meme. Anyway, like that's all I could think of in my head when Will Morgan was dropping knowledge with these tarot cards and everything that's going on with WandaVision, pointing stuff out, stuff we didn't get in this episode. So he said if he's wrong about it, he's going to delete his stream. So make sure that you go watch the stream before the next episode when he gets proven right. So make sure you go watch it. Great stuff last night. I fell asleep listening to it, but yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Will Morgan, man. Good stuff. Go check him out. Oh man, the episode was amazing. So much. Yeah, exactly. Ray Hall says it's all Wanda. I got everything under control. Maybe this is a misdirect. I don't think so. Well, I think it's her, but I think there's really a lot more to it. There's really a lot more to it. But yes, that opening scene. Let's go ahead and get right into it. The opening scene was great. I loved that opening scene. How in the hospital, you see her basically. You see Monica there in the hospital, and you see everybody coming back from the blip. That was very cool. I was like, dang, like it's like right into it. It was intense. Especially if you think about how that last episode ended. It was very, very crazy. Like, I need and I want to go back and like put them all back to back, like where you don't get all the, like it just cut off like right there, just like they need to string them together. Maybe they should do that for like at the end of the season, just put out a DVD where it's all like the full cinematic movie. That's what they should do, because it was very cool, especially like I said, the way the last episode ended and then transitioned into this episode. That was absolutely great. Now, the thing that I thought was interesting is something I don't really want to discuss because I want to make a video about one of the things that happened in the episode, and it was something I seen happen, and or just some of the things that happened, and I'm like, like there's some very interesting stuff there with that hospital scene. Very interesting stuff going on with it there with that hospital scene. But then we see, I also love, it immediately jumps from there, basically into the Sword headquarters. And I thought that was pretty cool too, because the Sword, like it made it look like, where is that? Where is that Sword headquarters, right? And they get there into the office, and I love the way they open up. She goes to the door, scans her little security badge, and the guy's sitting there being all like all smart ass with her, just all like dry. He's like, well, if you worked here, it'd work, wouldn't it? And she, I love the way she just kind of shakes off. She's like whatever. I just love that. I love how all that scene went down, and then and I all of a sudden can't remember his name. Tyler Henstridge, Tyler Hayward, Tyson Hayward. He was sitting there the way he came in, and kind of their banter. You could see that they knew each other, but then as they go through and they get into through the security, all the things that are going on there and how they're discussing Sword, the real setup there and everything, I thought was done pretty good. And notice like when she was calling out about creation, because she was talking about sentient weapons observation and response, and that's when she mentioned creation, which I thought was very interesting. Yeah, Ray Hall. Yeah, I got there. It's just takes a second to jog the memory. Wanda's been messing around up there, you know what I mean? But yeah, I thought that was very interesting because the way they're going through there and talking about it, and the thing that she mentioned right there that we got right off the top. They don't specifically say it, but she said creation. He mentioned how they stopped doing manned missions to space. They were sending robots, and I can't even remember all the terms that he used. Careful there. All the terms that he used, but he basically said they started sending AI and stuff like that. So we can see they're already flirting with all this stuff. They have their systems in place there. So it's very interesting, especially when it comes to think about all of the things that we've kind of been talking about, especially like yesterday when we had Jason on the channel from Polyhedral Paradise. We were talking about just like, I was kind of talking about how Vision and his AI construct and everything like that, and how they probably got a copy of it, just Shuri's got a copy of it kicking around in Wakanda somewhere. But also, I mean, Wanda is kind of one with that the sentience of the Mind Stone in the first place, and there's all of those things there, right? So it's very interesting, like how they were talking about that, and they were talking about how they were sending those out into space instead of doing manned missions now. And how he mentioned, about there's all kinds of cosmic threats out there in space before we didn't think there was, and she's like, oh yeah, but there's also allies too. A lot of that conversation, I mean, there was really a lot of stuff dropped right there in that conversation. I thought was very, very interesting. Just very interesting stuff. And of course, what are we doing? We're sitting there going through everything, like they know we're paying attention to all this stuff, right? So it's just a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on there in that opening conversation. And then they get to his office and they're talking about how she's grounded by her mother, basically, right? A lot of interesting stuff there concerning Maria, Photon, Rambo, and this organization, and then also how you're grounded. You're grounded. Like what am I grounded for? Only terrestrial missions, and basically she got grounded by her mother, who believed that she would return again. Interesting. And I gotta be honest with you. I know everybody's feeling the same way, aren't you? About Director Hayward? Don't act like you're not suspicious of him already. Hell, Hydra. I don't know. I don't know. Well, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about that. Now, the next thing I want to get into is Darcy makes a comeback. And I gotta say, I think, you know what? I like Kat Dennings. I'm not like a huge fan of a lot of the work she does, unfortunately. You know what I mean? I think she is a good actor. I don't think she's great. She is good. She's kind of an Aniston, I think. She's kind of herself all the time. But I thought that she did a great job bringing her back. I thought they wrote a lot of her lines, and just the way she came off was was good. A lot better and a lot less annoying than she was in, say, like the Thor movies, right? I thought that she did really good. It was nice and refreshing. It was nice to see her back, and I think it was good the way that they brought her in and had her character in the show, in the sense that I really did like it. I really did like it, and I don't know. I think it's just a good job there all together with that. And honestly, I gotta say, Teyonah Parris too in this series has been freaking great. I've really liked the job that she's done here as well, especially in that opening scene. She nailed it with like the emotion and everything, like the whole, like, she's good. Very good. And so yeah, they bring in Darcy, all good stuff there when they bring in her character, because they kind of give you that like they kind of give you that banter that she does, but it's not so annoying as she seemed to be in like the Thor movies. It was I think it was done. I think it was done a little bit better, and maybe that's done all for a reason. Maybe it's just because they actually got somebody that actually wrote the character better than they did in the Thor movies. It could be. It could be. But I thought that was really good, and especially like I don't like some of this stuff. I'm kind of like, okay, like when she's sitting there struggling trying to pick the thing up. I mean, it all kind of happened kind of quick. I mean, she didn't say, hey, could you help me get this thing on the stuff? It's just like some of that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, okay, like I get that's kind of where the humor and stuff is kind of at, and that's kind of her thing too as well. And I don't know. We could get into a whole discussion about, and this is, and believe me, I'm not one, because believe me, I'm sarcastic AF, right? But we could go down the rabbit hole of having a discussion about sarcasm and its place in just our modern world, right? I know a guy I used to work with, Daryl. He would talk about this all the time. And I'm like, yeah, but like I guess it also kind of depends on where you're coming from with it too. Like me, I get the sarcasm and I always try to lay it on thick. And most people who know me know, like, okay, like this dude's being sarcastic. He's not, But a lot of times now, like, people use sarcasm to convey their truth as well, right? And I think that's something that there's kind of a there's kind of a line when it comes to that kinds of stuff, right? Anyway, like I said, we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole, not today, because we got other things to discuss. But the interesting thing here is the timing of events. The timing of events, because I see, and I skipped over Randall Park, right? Can we talk about Randall Park? Randall Park is great. I like Randall Park. I don't think I've seen him in anything I don't like him in. If you ever watched the TV show Fresh Off the Boat, he was freaking great in that show, right? Is that show still on the air? I don't know. Randall Park is he's a national treasure, damn it. No, Randall Park is so great. And then it was cool, that whole interaction that we seen with him and Monica there at the beginning as well. See, anyway, it was cool that whole thing there. Now, the interesting thing that we need to talk about, we'll talk about a little bit about some of this later, is who was he looking for? Who is his person in Westview? Who's his missing person in Westview? He had somebody, obviously, that he was tracking, a parolee or somebody on probation being monitored. That's what he does for the FBI. He was in Oakland. Interesting, he was in Oakland, isn't it? Very interesting, he's in Oakland. There's only been one time that I know of, that I can recall, that we've been to Oakland in the MCU. Yeah, that's right. Black Panther. And we also know that Wakanda has some land there. They got some territory that they are. You watched Black Panther, right? Interesting that he was there, took the flight out to find this missing person, and he gets there, and nobody even knows who the person is at all. Friends, family, relatives, close contacts. Nobody knows who the guy is. Who was that guy? That's the big mystery, right? There was something else. Okay, yeah, so that was all interesting stuff. Now here's where and this is what brought me back to the timing of events, was because they're there. They talk with those cops who say, they're sitting there like, and it's great too, because the way the cops played that off, like, and that's like, we're like, they're like, What Westview? What are you talking about? And see nothing here. Or from Eastview. That's pretty interesting. You got to admit that's pretty damn interesting there, right? And so that they got in their car, they caught their cop car, and they turned around and drove away. They didn't drive into the town. They didn't drive through that road. They didn't drive down that road. What does everybody else see that down that road? You also notice that Agent Wu's car is just outside of the barrier where he flipped around and did a U-turn. What are they seeing there? Anybody else? Why didn't he go beyond that border? Because he said it didn't want him to go beyond, and his car didn't look wrecked like he was driving and drove into it. It looked like he stopped, turned around his car, unless maybe he came from the other direction. Is there a way to come from the other direction that you don't enter into Wandaville? Yeah, take the last train to Wandaville. Anyway, yeah, we're not gonna get into that. But I thought that was very interesting. But then they get there, she breaks out the drone, and that was something I talked about yesterday. She got the little remote in her hand. She breaks out the drone and sends it in, and it is that same drone that Wanda found in the bush. It was that same drone, right? Interesting, right? That drone. It's interesting. I'll tell you why it's interesting, because I was bringing up something yesterday about when that drone went through there and it basically reverted technology back to being a little toy, which is something we've seen in the episode. As it flew through there, you heard the sound come through, and that's what got Wanda's attention. She's like, "What?" And she went outside. Now, she went out there, she picked it up, and she looked at it, she's like, and then she remembered hearing that same sound the night before. That's when she turned around and she looked at their bedroom window, at the tree that was brushing the window, right? No, it was the sounds of things coming into that reality, right? Things coming in there. Things breaking through that barrier. It was that same sound. And if you go back and you watch that episode 2, the intro to that, it happens, I think, like, what is it, 7 times? 7 or 8 times you hear that barrier get broke. You hear it happen like 7 or 8 times. I think it was like 7. It was like 7 or 8 times that you hear that happen, right? And as you're sitting there, listen, and then that's when it's like, he goes and checks the window, and then she draws open the curtains, and that's when you just see the tree hitting the thing. It was something breaching that into the reality there, into the bubble. But then, interestingly enough, and this is where the timing of events comes in, because we see Maria obviously got sucked into the bubble as well, with the drone. So it's very interesting, that whole timing of events, because that she went through there, right? She went through there. Monica did, and minutes later, she was at the place there where they were at the swim, where they were having the little meeting with Dottie, which is right across the street from where Wanda lives. If you go back and you watch some of these things in slow motion, like if you come out, basically what we know, like, you come out Wanda's house and you turn to the left, go up the sidewalk, there's Dottie right next door. Well, right across the street from there is where, like, that little pool house and everything is, where they were having that little meeting, with all the wives, where they're getting ready for the talent show. So it's a very small community we're looking at here. This is right across the road. And minutes later is when you see Monica for the first time. She's sitting there at the pool club, and she's like, hey, she's talking, and then they even talk about that in the episode, and that is the interesting thing. Is Darcy even brings that up in the episode where she's like, oh, look, she's talking to Wanda. She's got a speaking role now. But that happens later in the episode we just watched than when she initially went in there. So it makes me wonder, is this thing being aired later, or is it just a rerun? Is it just a rerun? Is this actually happening? You know, because they even brought that up when they were sitting there watching it. The Tyler, Tyler, um, he mentions that there. Tyler Hayward. He's like, when is this happening? Is this now? Is it pre-recorded? Is it when is it? No. He gets into that, and they're like, I don't know. And that's the thing, is it has to be a rerun, right? Or is it happening being broadcast later? Because when we first see Darcy hook up the TV, and she's all, tune in Tokyo. Oof, man. Anyway, we see it come up right there at the beginning of episode 1, where Wanda was sitting there with the with washing the dishes, which she does once an episode. Barf. Interesting stuff. This conversation going on here. You can make this in a snap. Barf. Binarily augmented retro framing. He took my life's work and named it Barf. I mean, did it just like, right? But they're sitting there watching, and that's when she talked about her theory with the radio, and they went outside and they did the little thing with the radio. But they also were talking about like the cosmic radiation. Cosmic radiation basically from caused by the Big Bang, right? Right. We got some Eternal stuff going on here. That's a reference to the Eternals, is it not? Is it not? All right. But they're talking about that. It's also interesting that they were talking about that when she was talking there with that security guy that was kind of being a dick, like, what's your analysis? Because he goes about, it wasn't gamma radiation this time. What was it? What radiation was it they had there? I can't remember. And he goes, oh, it's low levels. It's not dangerous. And she's like, well, yeah, like right now it's not. That's the same thing that happened at Project Pegasus in the first Avengers movie when they were experimenting with the Tesseract. Oh, just low levels of gamma radiation, nothing too dangerous. Nick Fury's like, yeah, that's not dangerous at all. What are you talking about? There's a lot of similar things going on here. A lot of similar things going on there. Again, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. I don't trust that director. Am I the only one? So then that's what, they're figuring out. They try to get through to Wanda, and we see on the TV that's when it skips, and they don't see that. They don't see that through the TV, and it makes you wonder who made it skip, right? Who made it skip? Because I don't remember Wanda doing her thing there in that scene. It didn't look like she purposefully used magic to make that go away. But then you also notice the times when she actually does her thing, it cuts as well, right? It cuts to a different scene. Very interesting. So it makes you wonder, is she directed? And that's something that we've been talking about here in the first place, because I don't think she's in total control. I think she's in control of a lot of it, but she's not in total control. And I think we already all know that, right? very interesting stuff there. Very interesting stuff there. Just with all the stuff that we see edited out, which we got a lot of in this episode, right? A lot of that stuff in this episode. A lot of it. There's more to get into. I want to get into the live chat and see what you guys are saying really quick, because I feel like I have sat here and nerded out for a long time. All right. Okay. So let's see. Will Morgan, love your tarot video. Yeah, that was great. Yeah. That tarot video was great, and his live stream last night was great. Good stuff. Yeah. Amazing episode. Yeah, it was. Best episode so far. Ooh, yes, it was. Like they just they ratchet it up every time. Cause like episode 1 and episode 2, I was hyped about anyway. I watched episode 1, oh, episode 2 was like, oh, I know. Like for most people, it's not their thing, you know. Like I get that, it's cool. But dude, I'm telling you, those episodes blew my mind. I freaking loved them. Episode 3 was, oh, especially remember the way, right? Oh, damn. And now we got the reasons why they did that, huh? Oof. Ooh, I'm not going there yet. Because that was... Man. Mm-hmm. Everyday Geeks, what is up? Says, well, you have to think from Monica's point of view. It would seem to her that it is all Wanda, and we haven't seen Wanda in the reality from anyone else's point of view. Yeah, absolutely. Which is something I want to get into here in just a minute. I want to get into that in just a minute. I think Marvel should stop putting clips and trailers anymore for this show. We can clearly see it don't matter. I'm okay with it. Give me more. I feel like I'm gonna get. Am I gonna go full Britney Spears up in this piece? Just give me more. Just give me more. Isn't that Britney? I could be wrong. Yeah. No, Ray Hall. What's wrong with you? More. They're gonna make me lose sleep. It's okay. Give me more. Let's see who else we got here. Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, here, let me get you in here. No, you're good, man. You're good. Oh, no, not that one. There we go. All right. There we go. Oh, come on. I must have turned it off. There we go. Oh, man. There we go. All right. So let's see why this thing is being like that now. All right. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, and I love the episode.
Oh man, I'm telling you, dude, it was intense. More intensity. Oh, let me get you fixed here on the screen. Yeah, dude. I mean, from the very get-go, from the very start of the episode too. It was nuts. Watching just everyone coming back from the blip. I loved it.
See, we got the high school moment in the Spider-Man movie, and now we got to see what happens in hospitals.
Yeah.
I want more. I want to know more settings, what it was like in different places of the Marvel universe, because it's gonna be a different story each time.
They could do a show called The Blip, right?
Yes.
They could do a show called The Blip, and people would be like, "Oh my god, dude!" Like, yeah, that would be pretty crazy. Let's see. We'll go through a little bit more of the chat here. Get kind of caught up. I was nerding out for a little while about the episode. Let's see. Except being a pilot episode, trailers for new shows. Beyond that, I'll go in blind as possible. Oh, I hear you. Yeah, yeah. And Tyler Hayward. Yeah, I don't trust that dude. I don't trust that dude. Yeah. Ray Hall's like, yeah, you don't want to go into it ruined. Okay, yeah, I understand that. If you don't want to see any more promos, this is going to be a tie into Secret Invasion as well. Damn. Yeah. I mean, they threw they threw everything at the wall in this episode. Really, it's all there. Steven.
It was very interconnected.
Yeah, Stephen J says, yeah, Sword has been established longer than I thought, and I noticed that too, and I figured they had to kind of go there with it and make it seem like they've been there and established for a while.
Yeah, apparently Maria Rambeau built this place from the ground up.
Yeah, very interesting. And that whole thing that we had the discussion on earlier on Discord, I didn't bring any of that up because that's something I want to talk about in a video. It's a good clickbait video to make. Got to frame it right before anybody else gets to it. I got to get the hate clicks.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to have Myrtle do that. Ray Hall says, "Did you guys catch the scroll Easter egg on the board?" Yeah, where Randall Park was going full. I think Randall Park was being me in this episode.
Except he gets paid to be you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was great. Listen to your mother; she knows better. Yeah, right. Oh man. Just pause the image on the new trailer. Oh my god. Which image? Everyday Geeks. Oh, you're talking about. Oh, he's obviously talking about that Quasar. Oh man.
Cyclops dad.
No, I just like the chat just skipped on me, and I see we've got a good friend here, Ted Lasso. What's up, Ted? Hey, Ted. Oh, Ted, you're more than welcome to be here. You just don't have to. You just don't have to spam the chat. You're all good, brother. Oh yeah. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh man, people are really bored.
You think Ted is a real person? I think Ted is a bot.
Probably so. Definitely a bot of some sort. That's hilarious. Oh. There we go. So yeah, very interesting stuff there. But yeah, there was that Quasar Easter egg in the trailer. Did you watch that trailer? The new promo?
I watched the trailer, but what the Quasar Easter egg? I didn't
I put it there in the thumbnail here for the live stream. But there's a spot where a director Hayward is sitting there talking to everybody at like a sword round table, if you will, and he's sitting there and it's got the sword logo there on the table on the screen, and right at the very top of it, it's got the little Quasar symbol, like the little four like prong star thingy, right there on the sword logo.
Okay, so that's one of the allies that Monica was talking to Tyler about. She's like, yes, space is full of them enemies, but a couple of happy faces that are on our team, however she worded it, which I like. It's kind of, you can relate that to the real world. The unknown, yes, there are going to be enemies, but then there's those happy scrolls who help us out, and they're part of Sword.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was very interesting. Imani is here. She says, I love Randall Park. I know, yeah, Randall Park is so great. And like I said, all the people they've got involved in this show are great. Like I was even talking about earlier, like I like Kat Dennings. I just don't like what she does most of the time. I don't like most of her work, a lot of it. But like I think they did a good job with her character in this particular episode. I thought she came in and nailed it.
Never looked better.
Yeah, I liked it. Like, I don't know. It seems like there's maybe a maturation. Is that how I should say it? A maturation of.
Well, yeah, totally. She is not the intern anymore. Now she wants coffee. She's not getting it still, but she is an astrophysicist. You know what? I love that joke when she was in that the car and they were taking their ride. So what are you? I'm the nothing. I don't want to tell you. Okay, you're a Boy Scout. And then she peer pressured each of them to say, I'm this and I'm astrophysicist and I'm that. And then finally he tells them, and she's like, no one cares. That was amazing. That was me laughing audibly at this show for the first time ever. There was no funnier joke than that one.
Yeah. That was pretty good. Um, let's see. Imani says Black Panther. Is it bad that my mind went straight to the black guy? Ooh, on which one? See, I was nerding out so much, I lost track of the chat because I was like, you know me, man. um,
Herbert.
let's see. He had a bad feeling. Who had a bad feeling? Oh, wait, Vision. No, it did not have the sword logo in it. We still haven't seen the origin to all of this. Did not have. No, it did not have the sword logo in it. What didn't have the sword logo in it? What?
The Quasar thing.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, like I said, I'm behind on the chat here. I'm sure Ray Hall will put it back in there again in a minute. Lethal Lightning in the house. Apex Comics, thank you for being here. Says Lethal says, I never really got into the MCU. Digging WandaVision. Good to have something different. Yeah, and it's been intense, man. Yeah. Also, the House of M Nods that made me smile. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's just too bad they're not at a warmer location. Oh, the helicopter with the logo.
I think he's talking about Kat Dennings. No, if he said colder location, he'd be talking about Kat Dennings.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think that may be what he's referred to. Yeah. I was gonna say we haven't got there, Lethal, but yeah, that was great. That was absolutely great. The whole thing with Vision right there. I thought that was nuts. And honestly, I kind of seen it coming too, because when that whole scene with Vision there, you could tell that something was happening. The way the setup, he was out of focus. You could tell that he wasn't shiny. You didn't see the jewel in his head. Crazy.
Trippy, the music that accompanied it made us feel like, what? Second time they've done that, because the moment Geraldine and Wanda found out they weren't who they're saying they were, that was eerie also. They did it again today now.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty nuts, but then it really only brings up so many other rumors, and also makes me think about some of the other things that I've been thinking about here as well too, where Vision was an AI construct, and I think somebody else is trying to utilize him for some sort of means. Because if he's there looking like that, that means that's what he looks. That's what he looks like. She's either making people see something else, or everybody else is just playing along with it because maybe they're in that same situation.
Right.
Maybe they're dead too at this point. And yeah, it's just because there's some of the other stuff that I was noticing on the sword dossiers that they had there on the wall that I zoomed in and I was reading about, and it all kind of had to do with, like, a lot of times when Vision was touching the people he had direct contact with in that reality. It just seemed really weird. And we also seen in the trailer where Vision touches Agnes and kind of snaps her back into reality, and that's what they talk about, is when Vision touches people, it's bringing them back into back into the reality of the role that they were supposed to be within this show that's going on.
Okay.
Very interesting stuff there.
But remember that it started off as a missing persons case, that Westview doesn't exist.
Right.
So what is their original roles if Wanda hadn't have, I think, kidnapped them and brought them here?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. That's and here's the other thing too, is there was rumor, or there's been thoughts that the Westview is actually on a grave. Is actually on a old grave site, and which is kind of goes back into, if you get into the Salem witch trials, and when all that went down, and we've already had references to that, and it's like, okay, so is some of that true, that we actually have that kind of a thing going on here, like a pet cemetery kind of situation, which is something that actually all happened in that Vision and Scarlet Witch series. It's blowing my mind.
It is.
And especially because at the beginning they were talking about Sword creating or making sentient weapons as well, and they were talking about the robots and the AI and everything that they were already using anyway, which is only going to bring up even more thoughts and speculation about Simon Williams, the Williams, and all of that kinds of stuff, and the AI constructs, and if they're actually doing other things as well, which I've been theorizing, and that I think somebody was maybe experimenting with Vision to try to utilize his AI construct because it can't be matched.
Ooh, and who is that somebody?
Yeah, I don't know. The other thing it makes me wonder too is if people are snapping out of that reality and they're seeing real Vision, because remember, like I said, they've got notes like when Vision touches people, it kind of brings them back into that reality. We've seen it with the boss, right? After he was choking, did they start to see him for what he was, a dead, the dead Vision there? And then after all that
And that's
happened,
episode 1.
yeah,
So then Mr. Hart spreads the word, hey, once Vision touched me, I actually saw what he looks like with the missing thing because that's what Thanos did to him. And now my memories came back, and let me enlighten you. So just like House of M, maybe that
and
happened. And he was the Layla Miller.
you notice we don't see him after that neither. We don't see him after he gets up and leaves after that. We did see his wife though.
Who's his real life wife? Like their name was like Todd and something something, but they are a real life couple.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Apparently they were really married in like the real world there. So I think it just very like I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on in here, and now seeing what just happened in this like brings up all those things about the dead, them rising the dead, and the Grim Reaper and Simon Williams and Wonder Man, all these things that they've kind of alluded to in just about every way. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not too interested in Simon Williams. He's Wonder Man, which is just you guys at DC made Wonder Woman. We're gonna make a character called Wonder Man. That's all I've ever seen from that character. I'm sure he's got a rich history and people like him, and he's got a fan base. I don't think they should go that direction. They should work on their original characters.
Right. Well, I think part of the thing is even if they bring him in, it may not even be like a big kind of thing. It might be just in the sense that they're trying to build AI constructs as well, and maybe in that case, that was one of their original iterations that they were doing when they were trying to create Vision or anything, or when they were trying to recreate Vision or anything like that. It's just kind of what I'm thinking, where they can put it in there and it don't have to be like a very big thing.
Yeah, let's do it that way if we do it.
Yeah. Oh, Stephen J says warmer, less clothes. Okay, yeah. Ray Hall says the drone did not have the Sword logo on it. The one, the one that she sent in. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. It had all the same markings. It had the 3003, the number 57, the little Sword logo. Yeah, it was all there.
There was another drone that they sent in like the second time, and when Darcy saw
it was a different drone.
She asked what. Yeah. It was a different drone. What intel are you getting from that? And he goes, "That's classified." Okay, so you're not getting anything. Got it. I love how she has this BS detector.
Yeah, and I think some of the other stuff that was just along, like I said, there's just so much to like that really happens in there to unpack. Like I was saying, even too, like with the timing of stuff, the way everything happened. Is this a delayed feed? Is it repeating, just like a rerun?
Real question.
Because some of that timing is off. It's off.
Now TV has a 7-second delay.
Right.
I think based on what's his name, Jimmy Woo's character going into the radio and saying, "Wanda, do you hear me?" Nothing happened. Keep trying. "Wanda, do you hear me?" There was a 7-second delay. Also, when we ever get the time skips where things are about to get weird and then Wanda makes everything go back to normal, like what happened? We didn't see anything. It's the 7-second delay. Because if she wanted to make it so that we didn't even hesitate, we didn't even see a glimpse of things going awry, we just wouldn't have gotten the Ultron mention at all. But she mentions Ultron, and then it mentions your brother's dead, he was killed by Ultron, and they went into... There's some real lines that happened after that moment that got skipped. Right. That's because Wanda could only erase 7 seconds prior.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Because that's how it works.
Yeah.
Maybe, and I may be completely wrong, but that's something that if we're honoring TV, then maybe that's right.
That's interesting. And then it makes me wonder if maybe that's a 24-hour delay, because we did see where basically Monica got sucked in, and then next thing you know, you've seen the sword agents, all you've seen the transport and everything, and it says 24 hours later, and that is about the time Darcy got there and they started monitoring everything and seeing all that. So maybe it is just, I don't know, maybe 24, maybe 36-hour delay, maybe. But they gave us.
Maybe there was an episode
Hmm?
in the 40s that we didn't get to see.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, it makes me think that maybe it is a 24-hour delay then, since that's kind of the timing window that we got there. Because I guess they did put that in there very specifically. Let's see. Yeah, and that scene with Dead Vision was crazy, man. That was nuts. So if they bring in mutants, how are they going to explain that Wanda isn't the daughter of Magneto? They might he might be, though. We don't actually know that he's not. Which could get us into all kinds of other talk about, like, the Hydra soap, and if they're actually wiping people's minds and stuff like that, and if they did that with her and Pietro and twisted their minds through everything, because we see they all that kinds of stuff has gone on. When are we going to see the cow nanny? Yeah, that's Bova. That's it's, who knows if we will. I mean, it seems like they're leading to all of that stuff, so I don't know. We haven't seen Ralph. I'm pretty convinced he is Mephisto now. Yeah, maybe so. The
leading theory.
You think the Grim Reaper will make an appearance in the show? At this point, yeah. In some form or another, I think we're gonna get an Eric Williams in there. It seems like they're really leading up to a lot of that. So you think Wanda's giving out powers somehow? She could be giving out powers, and that's where I think that's where Vision comes in at, when he's touching the people, maybe. Yeah, I haven't seen Wanda in the Salem witch trials. We even had old leaked set photo, she and Agnes attending Salem witch trials. Oh, I don't remember that, but interesting. Do you think the next episode we're gonna see is the Halloween episode? I don't know. You think the next episode is a Halloween episode? I mean, I think it's almost got to be at this point.
Yeah.
I think it's almost got to be, unless they're going to jump back and forth, because those scenes that are like the whole Modern Family looking scenes, crazy stuff. It looks very creepy. Wanda's she's definitely giving me, like, I don't know, visions. Fast Steven Seagal, thank you so much for being here. Says WandaVision equals John Byrne's Vision Quest and Darker Than Scarlet. Interesting. I have to check that out. Red Raven 96, thank you so much for being here. Peter Ferris says maybe Westview is where Agatha lives. Wanda went there to get her help with a resurrection. They entered and they contacted maybe Mephisto, mixed with Wanda's magic, created the situation. That
maybe Eastview is where Agatha lives, because that exists now.
Yeah, and because we haven't seen her house, because she lives to the right. She lives to the right, my right, not your right. But she don't live to the right of Wanda. Starts in I Love Lucy.
And she didn't have an identification next to her name when the scientists were looking for who it was.
She has no home. She has no family.
No home. No family.
There are rumors that Days of Future Past Quicksilver will appear. Yeah. Ralph could have also been a nod to Ralph Macchio. Yeah, it could have been. Absolutely. As well as honeymooners. Yeah. WandaVision will have to save the town from something. That's when they become aware of knowledge that something is wrong. They say in trailer number 2, this is our home, then let's fight for it. Yeah, absolutely. There's that too. And also in that new trailer, Vision walking up to the border of the town. And you see him walk through it and he falls to the ground. Did you see that? Also, they took that old vehicle and they were ramming it. They were running it through the barrier as well. Ah, man, that's crazy.
I do not remember that.
That's crazy. Let's see. I think episode might be 80s still. Yeah, I think definitely 80s. I'm back. Something to do real quick. Oh, okay. I think Monica got her abilities from long-term exposure in Wanda's reality. It could be there's some things I don't want to talk about right now in this stream about Monica and something that happened in the show and some stuff that went down. That's pretty crazy stuff. It's pretty crazy stuff. But I think, but I am kind of on that too, thinking that Wanda somehow gives Monica her powers. Vision 7, the twins aren't real. In the comics, the twins were brought to life by slivers of Mephisto's soul taken. He then reclaimed them, and that's when Wanda went nuts. Okay. Yeah, all right. Interesting, because there's a whole lot of interesting things going on there when you get into like the stones and these because we're talking about reality warping. We're talking about all kinds of stuff here, resurrections and things, bringing the dead back to life, and there's just a lot of different crazy things going on there. Doctor Strange. Oh, I heard machines outside. Yeah. A chainsaw. Yeah, I don't know. Probably people coming over to do some landscaping.
That's me. That's on my end. I'm gonna mute it when I'm not talking.
Yeah, no problem. You're all good. Broke down and screenshots. Hey, all good. But anyway, guys, I gotta get ready to go soon. Do you have anything else to add here that I maybe haven't covered, Chillmonger?
You want to cover the magic trick that what's his name did when he's like, I'm Jimmy Woo, here, look at this, and that's such a nod to the continuity of Ant-Man and the Wasp. He was trying to do magic.
Yeah. That was pretty good. That was pretty cool seeing it. Especially considering like in the comics, Jimmy Woo is the leader of the Agents of Atlas. So yeah, it's very interesting. Some of that different stuff that they have going on there with that character. But yeah, that's one of the things. Yeah, definitely and Randall Park, I'm telling you, just like him as that character is just great. He's just great.
Yeah. Any minor character now is getting a lot of love. Who would have thought we'd care this much about Darcy? And then we getting a whole lot of stuff with Monica, minus the BS stuff. We got to understand that Mom died 2 years ago, but she was blipped 3 years ago, so she got to miss that whole thing. And there was only one doctor who was in staff at the time of Maria's death. She remembers her. So, I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, good stuff. Absolutely good stuff. So, do you? Is there anything else? Do you have anything getting ready to come up on your channel that you'd like anybody to know about?
Yeah, I reckon I'll probably do a good 15-minute long review of my own covering this with all the notes that I took. So look out for that on Chillmonger.
All right, and I do notice you were in your stream the other day. You were talking about wanting me to come on and do the 30. Was it the 30 burning questions?
Yeah, when I get the burning questions, I'm like 20 down. I need 10 more, and then I'll probably ask you.
Let me know, man. Let me know.
All right.
But thank you so much for being here, Chillmonger, and thank you everybody who is here for this stream today. Again, it's Friday, so we're going to have the Trailer Park Live later tonight. Make sure you're here for that. We'll probably talk a little bit more about all of that stuff tonight. So thank you all so much for being here. You all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.